Welcome to the High School Huddle. I'm Ryan Aber, joined today by Bob Przybylo. Bob, it's been an interesting summer in high school sports in the state, and it's about to get a whole lot more interesting as high school football practices kick off next Tuesday. But we had some interesting news last week. It came out that Jinx is being directed to forfeit some of their games from last season after Jarrett Lake, an OU commit, was deemed ineligible. How does this affect Jinx season this year?
Well, it's certainly not going to help their chances. Although you look at the national prep poll that came out, they got them ranked number 12, so maybe they don't think it's going to be that big of a hit. But they'll definitely take some time to try to adjust to the chemistry. I'm sure they were all ready to come in and do what they normally do, but they do have some strong talent coming back. Quarterback Sawyer, Cole Morgan, he'll get the team back, and I think they're going to be up. They're going to be fine.
Well, and let's not forget, this is Jinx we're talking about here.
Exactly.
It's not your run-of-the-mill football program. They're clearly going to be one of the top teams in the state, one of the top two. It's going to be Jinx or Union this year. I don't see a West Side team challenging. I don't think Broken Arrow or Muskogee have quite the firepower to challenge this year. Sand Springs is going to be really good offensively. You wonder about their defense. It's still going to be Jinx or Union at the top. I think surely this is a hit for them, but maybe not the devastating blow that it would be to somebody else. It'll be interesting to see how it affects Jarrett Lake, though, an OU commitment who's had his senior season pretty much ended because of these things. He can't play for an OSSAA school. There's a possibility on the table that he could go play for Holland Hall, which is not a part of the OSSAA. But certainly Tag Gross over there, I'm sure, is happy with that could be an outcome. But you wonder how it affect Lake and his progress toward possibly playing in Norman next year.
And I kind of wonder how it'll affect some of the Jenks kids from this perspective. They get a lot of stuff gets said about Jenks, about recruiting and stuff like that. Are they so mentally tough that they can just shrug this off their shoulders?
Well, they've done a pretty good job of it in the past. Being a part of the Jinx program, you hear about that all the time. And I think no program other than Union and maybe some of the big private schools, Tulsa, Kelly, McGinnis, I think no program gets scrutinized like Jinx. Sometimes these things happen. It's not completely clear how this happened, but it'll certainly be interesting to see how it affects their team this year. Tuesday, practices start across the state, getting ready for the high school football season. What are you most looking forward to?
I'll be all over the Edmond area, and the thing I'm most interested in is Edmond North. I can't remember an Edmond North team with as much talent as the group that is coming for Jeremy Dombeck for this season. You got the 1-2 punch at running back with Joe Aska and Quadon Henderson, and then in the secondary, they already had a secondary commit to a Big 12 school, cornerback Xavier Smith, who I talked to a little bit today, and he said they know how much talent is on this team. So the key this year is just focusing on believing in one another.
And if you look at the 6A as a whole on this side of the state, and specifically within the Edlam district, it seems to be pretty wide open.
Oh, definitely. And I've been joking with Dombeck that he's now the longest tenured Edmond coach. He's an institution. He's been there a whole three years, though, with Edmond Memorial with a new coach and Justin Meredith, and Edmond Santa Fe, new coach with Bruce Gowan, both who have been in the program a long time. I don't expect major changes to happen, and all three schools should be competing fairly well.
Right, but you talk about Edmond Santa Fe, and they lost a lot of their firepower from last year, especially Randy Ponder and Steve Sumter. They lost some other really good players, so it'll be interesting to see how the Santa Fe reacts under a new coach with Kokenauer leaving.
Definitely, and I talked with quarterback Will Long today, and he said this team's going to surprise some people. A lot of the focus is more on who left and that Kokenauer left, and not that, wait a minute, we're Santa Fe, we've got talent, and now is our turn.
But do you get the sense that this is just talking because that's what teams do when they lose a lot of talent, or is it something that could legitimately turn into them winning some unexpected games this year?
It's possible. I think we're going to find out starting on Tuesday. I plan on being there at 4:30 when practice starts, and I'm very, very excited about how the team is going to look.
Well, I guess we'll find out starting on Tuesday, but here in about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll really find out, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right, Bob, well, thanks for joining us. Check back on News OK next week as we unveil a new approach to covering high school sports, especially in the Oklahoma City area.